But no, it's actually your team that might get 2 kills because the 3-on-2 obviously is going to favor you. What's interesting here, I'm kind of surprised Nightbat went so far down the order, as he's one of the most popular top lane champions. You can also jungle him as well.
Yeah,
but
I like him in the jungle.
He's pretty ferocious. He's got, I mean, look at these teeth.
Those teeth, man.
Yeah. These eyes, too.
He brushes every day, I think.
He does. I mean, he has to. He's using those teeth to rend flesh all the time. There's a lot of...
You got to keep him strong.
Yeah, a lot gets stuck in there.
Ooh. Conversely, you have Gaslight Batman over there on the right-hand side. Ooh. He's my favorite guy, perhaps. I play a lot of Gaslight Batman.
Very popular champion as well.
Yeah. I
quite versatile.
Versatile, mobile, very dynamic, and he can get a lot of damage done in a short amount of time. He's also one of those champions that when he gets very low, he can still be very effective, I think, because he can keep his distance and stay alive. And that's where I think the better players can separate themselves, by sticking around the fight, even though they're pretty low in health, and staying alive at the end of the day, and still being able to dish out a lot of damage. You see Mecha Wonder Woman chosen.
Wow, so double marksman. That's actually a team's Surreal gaming specialty. And, you know, I pointed out taking both Star Sapphire and Joker kind of puts Cena in a position where they couldn't pick the premier mid lane blasters were already taken from them. And so they respond by just not using a blaster on their team. And they're going to run a marksman mid.
Interesting.
And marksmen can be really big lane bullies mid, especially with the global ultimates to support them with Superman and Atomic Wonder Woman. And that could put Cena in a really strong position early game. The weakness, though, is that their whole team's attack damage pretty much. Wonder Woman's the only one who really has...
You could build artifacts to kind of counter that.
Yeah, you can. So if it goes a little bit later, I think if Surreal Gaming can do okay in the laning stage, then they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine if they can get past that early part. But marksmen are really tough in lanes. It's hard to deal with them.
It is. I mean, overall right now, I think I might be liking the team. Obviously, it can go either way. It's going to play a lot into, as you said, how Superman and Atomic Wonder Woman can kind of work together with their ultimates. And then, because that can easily, like, sway battles or sway team fights, right? As you said, it turns out, you know, 3v2 or excuse me, 1v2 into a 3v2 situation where you got 2 tracking down this one guy from the other team, and all of a sudden here comes Superman and Atomic Wonder Woman, changes the whole fight. So that should be really interesting to watch as the game goes forward. But that being said, Joker and Green Arrow as the 2 like bulky damage dealers, I think is a very good combination, because you got the blaster and you got the, you know, the basic attack type. So if you're trying to counter that as the other team, it's not as easy as Surreal Gaming have it, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I'm curious about? I wonder if they're going to put... I think they're going to put a Surefire in the middle. So they're going to put their marksman in the middle. And I think they're realizing that they don't want to put one of their blasters up solo against a marksman, because the blaster gets bullied so hard in the lane. Yeah. And what you can do to protect it is if your jungler can really be really aggressive
and active
in
the lane. Sure.
But against both Superman and Atomic Wonder Woman, it's going to be hard for Surreal to have the more active and more scary jungle. I mean, Crashy's Doomsday is scary, but I think the jungle, he's going to have a little bit more mobility, a little bit more gank potential. Just because their top laner, Superman, once he gets 6, has an easier ability to enter the fray than Nightmare Batman does. So I like the idea of putting a Surefire mid. And then to make the bottom lane crazy, because it's a double blaster bottom lane most likely, and it's hard to predict how that's going to
So who are we going to have at the bottom there?
I think we're going to have both the Star Sapphire and Joker. I'm not positive, though. I'm not positive. We'll have to see how this plays out.
I could see... What about Joker on his own in the middle, and maybe Green Arrow going to the bottom with Star Sapphire? Does that make any sense?
I think if they're going to put... I think if they're going to put one of the blasters in the middle, it will be Star Sapphire.
Okay.
Because she can be more of a lane bully. And Joker naturally, the fact that Joker has stuns and slows on all of his skills makes him stronger when he's paired with someone, because then they're slowed and another person can do the damage.
Really important part of the game here. Superman overextending a little bit. Wonder Woman throwing the lasso in, jumping on in. It looks like Green Arrow's getting very low in health here, but it looks like he should be able to sneak away. No, the final shot taken there by Gaslight Batman. Already first blood. And that's a great sign for Team C. Can they get Doomsday? No, they're not going to get Doomsday. Well, that was nice. So first of all, they get an early kill, which is great. They get some credits, credit advantage, 4.4k to 3.9k we can see. And now they have supreme control of the jungle, so they can pretty much go anywhere they want, but it looks like a few of them are going to back up. Do you think that, well, I'm thinking they could try to get a jungle camp on the other side?
They definitely could. I mean, if they wanted to put all 5 and let's say grab this camp, they easily could do that. But the question is, if you put all 5, you're missing out on so much in the bottom and the mid lanes.
Yep.
And if you do less than 5, it could still be awesome, but it's a bigger risk. 'Cause if you put 3 there, another team just sends all 5 of theirs, you could give away a couple kills. So I think it could have been a good move, but it would have been kind of a risky move as well. And I'm not sure if C
well, like,
wants to take a risk.
What's your go-to thing? Like, you get a kill in the early game, you have complete control of the entire map. Are you doing what Team C does? They're just backing up?
Me, I'm greedy. I would send like 3 and try to take
cool.
this.
I think I would too.
What they did is they said instead we're just going to make sure we get a lot of good cameras set up. You can see here they get pretty good
that's
vision.
Great. Vision's awesome.
And then they went back, and the reason why you want to go back early is just so you can refill your cameras. And yeah, you use your credits, refill your cameras, and be set up.
Get some extra artifacts early on. So, looking at the lanes here, we're starting to see what these guys are doing. We got Gaslight Batman versus Green Arrow in the middle. That's going to be fun to watch throughout. The 2 marksmen going at it. We'll have to see what kind of fights develop from there. Looks like at the top we have a bit of a skirmish happening. Nightmare Batman trying to be annoying to Superman and Atomic Wonder Woman.
He was trying to steal that drone kill. That would have been a big kill if he could have, but he couldn't, and now they're both level 2, he's level 1. This is kind of, when you fight like a 1-on-2 here, you can be a little bit of a tough spot, but because the Surreal Gaming jungler is not there, he's down here, maybe Surreal can make some advantages happen in this bottom lane.
Yeah, 3 at the bottom here for Surreal Gaming. Looks like they are going to make a move on the EMP, and they are going to be successful. Nothing to really stop that. And this, obviously, I think went into the strategy. They're like, okay, let's just make sure we have 3 at the bottom, secure this early EMP, and then we can make some fun stuff happen. Meanwhile, at the top, it looks like Atomic Wonder Woman going to try to go after that as well. I'm not sure what Surreal can really do against that.
Yeah, Maestro's only level 1, and so Cal can pretty much zone him out and trade pretty well against. So actually, Cal's taking a lot of damage.
Atomic Wonder Woman is there, so maybe trying to bait him back a little bit, but looks like nothing too crazy happening. Nightmare Batman staying alive. You know, you can see a situation where Superman gets a bit low in health and then kind of tries to draw Nightmare Batman a little bit back, and then Atomic Wonder Woman leaps in and saves the friend. Kind of a bait tactic, but not happening there. We'll keep an eye on that.
Oh yeah, Maestro very intelligent. Put a camera there, knowing that as he pushes out, he's very vulnerable to what you just mentioned.
Doomsday is kind of lurking around the middle here. Let's see if he tries to make a move on Gaslight Batman. I could see him doing that after taking down this jungle dude.
Oh, sorry, just missed that. It looked like Maestro, even with the camera.
He had a camera there, yeah.
He did, but I think
Atomic Wonder Woman is just so fast, I guess.
Really brutal there with Atomic Wonder Woman. And that's going to put Cal in a very strong position in this top lane, with Maestro being significantly behind in credits.
Okay, getting back here pretty quickly using that teleport. Looks like Doomsday did not end up making a move on Gaslight Batman in the middle, just focusing on the jungle, which is fine. Gaslight Batman is very mobile, so it's kind of hard to take him off guard, especially this early in the game when everyone's so low.
So down here at the bottom, looks like Surreal has really pushed back C. And I think that's partly because Wonder Woman can't really contribute much in the harassment phase. And so when they're trading, you know, both Ziki and Pseudo can just focus on keeping Sotura at bay. And that's going to affect the ability to last it for Team C, because Wonder Woman has a hard time last sitting. And if Sotura is constantly being forced back off the line, he might have a little bit of a hard time last sitting there, as you can see, missing once or twice. And
yeah, this combo at the bottom.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Super brutal. Joker alone and then Star Sapphire, that's a lot of blaster damage being dished out, making it hard to get up close and personal with those drones. You want those last hits so you can build up your credits. But at the end of the day, it's 2 kills to 0 in favor of Team C. So they certainly have momentum at this point. But 5 minutes in, you know, you can't read much. Can't read too much into it.
And you know, one of the dangers of having your lane pushed so far is it does make them weaker to being ganked.
Yeah, because you're extending further away from your turret.
Exactly. Though it looks like they actually have Crashy lurking nearby.
Joker's got to be careful. I mean, Wonder Woman's right there. I think she was looking for the lasso.
She was thinking about it.
Just barely missed it. Doomsday's in the area too, so we can easily see a 3 versus 3 type situation happen. Green Arrow getting very low. Gaslight Batman, they're so... Oh, are they going to kill each other? Yep.
Oh, look
you see
at
that a lot. You see that a lot.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was, you know what was cool
the final
there?
Shot.
I think Ziki had, Azure Fire, I don't know what I said. Azure Fire had a slight edge here because he had his invulnerability up. But what Play to Win did is Play to Win backed away until the invulnerability faded off.
So he can get that final shot in.
Exactly, and so instead of him just dying for nothing, it was a trade. And
it's one of those things, if he was level 6, which he's not too far away from, he could just run away and then send the ultimate back and get the kill. But
that would be
a little bit too low in health, and we got to see something that's always fun to see.
And you know, that was Surreal Gaming's first kill, so I think that actually they like that trade,
Looks
right?
like Atomic Wonder Woman took down Nightmare Batman at the top. I think Doomsday might have initiated something.
Yeah.
How low
yeah.
is Superman, actually? Can you check really quick? Not that low.
Yeah,
That's
looks
weird.
like Maestro's
got-
just been getting kind of pounded up there in the top, which
It's no fun because it's less time in lane,
it
too.
is. And oh, it looks like here comes another gank here.
Green Arrow, be careful. Nice. Atomic Wonder Woman swooping in there. That's what she can do. She can come out of nowhere. She's super fast, leaping in, and using that chainsaw to help out. It was a situation where it might have been a trade, 1-for-1 there, but Gaslight Batman had a teammate there, ready and waiting. I'm a little bit surprised Doomsday wasn't in the area, actually.
Yeah, you know what we're seeing is every time Atomic Wonder Woman goes somewhere, there's been a kill, right? I'm Going Pro has just done an amazing job of just getting kills, whereas with Doomsday, you can say, I'm Going Pro's in part of 4 kills. Doomsday so far is not only under leveled, he's level 4 versus level 6. So he's actually hasn't gotten any kills yet either. Yeah.
He's not necessarily been able to help gank, which is what the jungler needs to do. Now, as far as how these champions scale to the late game, just a thought I had was Atomic Wonder Woman does not scale as well into the late game. Like, this is when she's really strong. So if some of y'all are saying, oh my god, Atomic Wonder Woman is looking super crazy good, well, this is her time to shine in the early game. This is when she's really mobile. She can catch a lot of champions on their own. But once the team fights start happening, it's a little bit harder for her to really establish herself for a role in the fight. Usually, her effectiveness comes in the very beginning to initiate or at the very end when people are running away.
Yeah, she actually has a pretty hard time against some of these blasters, particularly Joker, because she doesn't have any way to stun an opponent. And if you don't stun the Joker, if you just try to walk up and keep slashing at him, he can hit you with Mr. Punchy, he can drop the President at his feet. When he can use his abilities, it's really hard to be near him. So if you notice that, that's where I'm Going Pro has really not gone to this bottom lane very often. He's really focused on the top lane and the middle lane.
The right decision so far. And also you get 2v1s out of that.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. And we see him lurking just underneath Nightmare Batman at the top.
Yeah, he really wants to make the top lane kill happen, which I think is a very solid plan.
I think everyone's starting to hit level 6 as well, so we're going to start seeing some ultimates come into play, which is always fun to watch and keep an eye on. Atomic Wonder Woman ultimate might be the most exciting one to watch at this point, where she activates her chainsaw, can be heard around the map, and then if you're on your own, you know you're going to be in trouble. Well, look at this. Everyone's converging in the middle here.
Yeah, but there's been cameras spotted, so Play-to-Win just intelligently backs up and says, okay, the lane's dangerous, let's back up and clear camp.
Get some jungle dudes, get some experience.
Yeah, very solid play here. Team C is looking excellent in this first game.
As far as credits are concerned, Atomic Wonder Woman, no surprise there. It's going to be on top. Oh, Superman trying to get the kill, but an ultimate. Very nice ultimate right underneath that turret. Superman is very beefy at this point, though, so he's going to be just fine.
I'm really surprised Atomic Wonder Woman didn't ultimate Nightmare Batman. As soon as he did his ultimate on Callan, he was kind of... Because when Nightmare Batman does that, he locks himself down as well.
And then that's a good opportunity for Atomic Wonder Woman to just hit the ult. I think a little bit of miscommunication there. Maybe she was a little bit worried about the turret. Maybe thought Doomsday was lurking in the jungle, too, which you always got to be careful about. Speaking of which,
sneaky
that's
teleport
a
there
cool
by
idea.
Cal.
If Doomsday had pursued Atomic Wonder Woman, that would have made sense. Oh, they're going to go after the Raider.
And I think that's really smart to open at top, because top is where they've been dominating, focusing their attention, whereas in the bottom lane, it's been Surreal that's had more of the map presence.
I like the EMP decision, too. Doomsday coming in. He does not want this to happen for free. We have Nightmare Batman coming down as well, but only... Actually, Green Arrow is here, too, so it's a 3 versus 3 situation. Green Arrow looks like he's going to try to target down. Actually, he's a little bit confused. Targeting down no one, and Nightmare Batman is going to get taken down. So he went for a 1v3. His teammates weren't there to help out, and now Green Arrow's on the run. Wonder Woman is there, getting the lasso onto Green Arrow. He's taken out too, and this is going one way, and that's C's way. Now they're up to 9 kills, 1 death, and they got complete control of the middle. They got the Raider. That was just a situation where everyone was just jumping in there at once from Team Surreal Gaming, and that's something you cannot do. You got to be very convincing. You got to have good communication. Say it's all right. Who are we targeting? When are we going in? At that point in time, we saw them going one at a time, 1v3, 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 and they all got taken out.
Yeah, it was just not coordinated at all, and I think, especially for Surreal Gaming, when they have the blasters on their side, the blasters are champions that want to be positioned correctly in the fight, and then they can use all their crowd control to keep C from focusing down Azure Fire, from focusing down the key targets. Yeah, and they just weren't there. I mean,
at the bottom,
Crashy was dead before anyone else was even in the picture.
Well, I think Nightmare Batman actually went in. Did he go in first?
He went in after Crashy.
Okay, after Crashy. Yeah, that's a tricky situation. I thought Team C did a really good job kind of staying together, identifying where the threat was coming from, and then targeting down each individual champion as they approached. And they're doing well now, 18.8k to 12.2k. Now, this is a semifinal, so best of
Three,
Best
yeah.
of 3. So keep that in mind as this goes along. This is just game number 1.
I mean, I think also the big problem there was just C has been so much stronger in the middle and top lanes throughout this game, and their jungler too, that when it came to those trades and those engagements, even a beefy champion like Doomsday got melted so super fast. Because if you look at the credits of particularly Cal and I'm going pro and play to win, they're all ridiculously high, and they have a ton of just damage at their disposal.
Okay, we also have the middle turret has been taken down by Team C, and that was after I think that team fight happened. So that gives them a little bit more flexibility here to kind of maneuver between the top and the bottom, so look out for some ganks. Speaking of which, we got Crashy, the Doomsday. Actually, I think that's a suitable name considering the champion he picked.
Yeah,
Doomsday.
Crashes people into walls.
Yeah, just don't crash them in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You want to crash them towards your teammates. That's one of those pro tips for Doomsday. He has that ability which can launch enemy champion in any direction you want. Typically, you want to get around them and launch them in the other way.
And Crashy really excels at Doomsday. If I had to pick one champion that would really describe Crashy's skill if he had a favorite champion, I think he'd say it as well. Doomsday is one of his most favorite champions. Has a really great guide out there on how to play Doomsday as well.
Oh, cool. Doomsday is super fun too. I think as a newer player even. Very beefy, you don't die as fast. Also very integral to any team fights. Usually the initiator. Other champions are going to be following him, typically. So, for now, we see some movement toward the bottom of the map. Again, we only have one turret down from both teams. It's the middle turret from Team Surreal Gaming. We have a bit of a convergence down to the bottom. Doomsday is there, sees Wonder Woman. I think they have a camera there. Going to be backing up. There's 4 members there from Team C, and that's a powerful number of champions. We got Gaslight Batman, we got Wonder Woman, Atomic Wonder Woman. Hold on, engagement gonna happen here. Star Sapphire is targeted down by Wonder Woman. Doomsday coming in, he's on his own though. I'm not sure about that decision. Gonna start retreating back. Joker is involved. Green Arrow coming forward as well, looking for an ultimate. There's an ultimate from Mecha Wonder Woman, very nicely done. So far, 2 gone from Team Surreal Gaming. Star Sapphire trying to get out, Green Arrow tracked down, and nothing is going the way. There's an ultimate. We thought Star Sapphire escaped, but there is the ultimate from Atomic Wonder Woman. That's 4 for 0, and this lead is getting ridiculous. 13 kills to 1 kill, 23.3 thousand to 14.4 thousand.
That was just brutal. I mean, what we're seeing here is Team C with their composition. They have the great one-on-one, two-on-two power with Atomic Wonder Woman, Superman. Then as soon as it gets to a team fight, Wonder Woman's ultimate just plays such a huge role there. They combine with the Tempest from Satura. It's just such a dominant composition they have going for them.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, really a great initiator, and if she can get a good lasso followed by that ultimate combo, bringing everyone into her to attack her, that's like the dream scenario for Team C, because then the rest of the team can be like, all right, they're all attacking Wonder Woman, so we can just pick who we want to take out, and then they can just very methodically go from champion to champion, take them out, and that's exactly what happened. Also, we had Nightmare Batman fall. I'm not sure exactly where, but now 14 kills to 1 kill. 24.4k to 15.5k. What are the best things Surreal Gaming can do at this point, considering this deficit?
I think they're far enough behind. They can't hope to win any team fights anymore in the near future. I think what they have to do is they have to just never group up, because as soon as they group up, C can group up as well and slaughter them. They just have to basically farm the lanes as much as they can. As individuals, stay very safe, hug their turrets, and slowly give up turrets and grounds to C as they just try to hope that C overextends somewhere.
Speaking of overextension, Doomsday slamming into Gaslight Batman. There's the ultimate from Nightmare Batman, and there's no way he gets away, I don't think. Yep, he's going to be taken out. There's a good move there by Surreal Gaming. That's what you need. Look out for the overextensions. We have Atomic Wonder Woman waiting a little bit. Green Arrow coming in. Atomic Wonder Woman thinking about engaging. Superman turning around as well, but they're going to retreat to the middle. Meanwhile, we have Joker coming in from the bottom. Trying to lay down a punching bag, giving a present to Wonder Woman. There's the lasso coming in. Is that a wise decision? Not so sure. A little bit uncommittal is Team C right now. They're not really feeling the engagement. It would be 3 versus 4, trying to retreat. Doomsday, perhaps, doing that in the wrong direction. You want to get on the other side and bring it the other way, but
he just likes giving hugs.
Yeah, he's just want to give a big hug to Superman there. Who doesn't want to? And they're going to try to take this Raider here. This is a little dangerous. Superman, was that a good decision? Lasso coming in here. We got 3 members of Team C. The ultimate coming in here from Team C as well. Looks like Nightmare Batman taken out. Doomsday taken out. No one gone just yet from Team C. And once again, another team fight goes in their direction. They're patient about that. They're very patient and eventually got a 3-for-0 advantage there. Going up to 18 kills now. 31.1k credits to 17.7k.
And the whole time, Sotur's just been solo pushing his bottom, getting a lot of valuable farm, and of course taking down one turret, working on the second one.
Probably watching the fight from afar.
Yeah, just checking it out. Hey guys, how you doing? Need help?
Need help?
Nope.
Like, no, we got this.
No, we got this. All good.
We're good.
And you know, Surreal Gaming had a nice chance there. As soon as they got the jump on Play to Win, that was a big advantage because Play to Win is so much of the damage output of C.
That was great.
But I think they were just too far behind.
Weren't able to convert there.
Yeah.
Superman was very bold with his ultimate.
I
think that was like a 1 versus 4 situation, but I guess that shows his skill and knowing he could get out of there alive, and also it showed a lot of good kind of communication and team dynamic effectiveness, because Wonder Woman went in there right after Superman, got the lasso, and then from there it was just not too difficult at all as Atomic Wonder Woman got involved.
Yeah, I think the idea there of Callus, he knew that with his Phantom Trader's necklace that he has stacked up quite a bit, that he wasn't going to go down super fast, because just look at the credit difference between him and Surreal. He was going to tank a good amount of damage. And he was saying, okay, if I can take all like their initial bursts of firepower, it'll create an opening that Atomic Wonder Woman can come in to do damage, assassinate a target, and Wonder Woman Prime can get in there and try to get off a good ultimate.
Okay, good team fight so far from Team C, playing very, very well, showing very good game awareness too. Looking pretty good in this game number 1 of this Go4 Infinite Crisis monthly final of August. Looking to get a 1-0 advantage in this best of 3 of the semi-final. As it stands right now, Doomsday is still lurking around the jungle, trying to find some effective places to hit. Whoa, look at that damage output from Gaslight Batman. Nice dodge there by Green Arrow, saying, no way, I'm not dying yet. Doomsday lurking in a little bit later. If he had gotten there sooner, could have potentially been pretty good for them. But for now, we see just lots of positioning, lots of jungle drones dying, and lots of lane harassment happening too.
Yeah, see this continues to apply pressure early, an opportunity.
Oh, missed the ultimate.
A great vanish there. If that ultimate got Joker, he probably would have died to him with Mecha Wonder Woman there as well. Yeah.
2 Wonder Woman teaming up at the bottom.
Yeah, it's a very synergistic team. It's worked out pretty well.
Actually, they have 3 Wonder Women on their team, don't they?
You're right. With Superman and Batman, it's like a Justice League type thing. I mean, a little bit of multiverse variants thrown in there. But
speaking of which, we got a bit of a skirmish might happening. Star Sapphire. Actually, gosh, Doomsday's so low here. I don't like an engagement here from Surreal. Nightmare Batman coming in from the right-hand side. Not sure what he's expecting to do. Green Arrow's going to try to help him out, but it's a 2v4 situation. Gaslight Batman get a swing out of there. He's going to stay alive. No, taken out by Green Arrow, but not so worth it. That's a 2-for-1 advantage. Meanwhile, Superman going to engage the rest of Surreal game in the bottom left. Atomic Wonder with the ultimate, slashing to death Joker. Next up was, who was that? Someone got taken out there.
That was Star Sapphire.
Yeah, Star Sapphire. Yeah. So 4 for 1, maybe 5 for 1.
Yeah.
Yes, 5 for 1. And another team fight, not going the way of Surreal Gaming.
No.
3 kills to 23 right now. Quadra kill, by the way, and there's a surrender. Not too surprising to see a surrender there.
No, they were so far behind. I mean, I even felt like those team engagements, they actually did things okay, but just they weren't doing any damage. It just took them so long to take down a target because of all the disadvantages they had in the early parts of the game when I mean, I'm going pro, I think, was so dominant as a jungler. Right, he was several levels ahead and many kills ahead of his counterpart there, and wherever I'm going pro went, that followed.
Look at that, 11-0.
That's brutal. 8 assists as well. I mean, he basically, almost every single kill the team had, I'm going pro as part of it. And it's partly his ability to know where and when to strike, and then his teammates always had his back there as well. They always, such good coordination there from Team C.
And that's another kind of reason why Atomic Wonder Woman can be super fun to play. You can kind of just, exactly what I'm going pro did. So if you're trying to figure out some Atomic Wonder Woman strategies, he's probably got to watch. That game we just saw is a good one to go back and watch too. Take some notes. Staying very mobile, staying very elusive, sticking to stealth pads, ganking lanes every once in a while, and just staying all across the map. And then once you get that level 6, that's when the fun truly starts. Because someone can think they're getting away with 1 HP or 10 HP or 20 HP. I don't care how much HP they have, because Atomic Wonder Woman can just zip in there with their ultimate and slash them to pieces.
And it's also a good thing because when I play Atomic Wonder Woman, I kind of run around, I do ganks, but I never get the kill. Or the assist. The person never dies, right? So kind of rewatching it in a little bit of like a slower motion, pausing it, and looking at the exact shot rotation.
Yep.
And how he decides when to go in for a gank and how he makes sure that he can actually secure that kill.
And as a team too, like some of those moments there where the team fights are happening, you could see a lot of movement. Obviously each one of these players, each one of these team members having a very important role in the particular team fight. So making sure they're correctly positioned you can literally take one of those 20-second moments and slow that down big time and truly analyze every single move that was being made. I thought another really nice player that kind of stuck out there was Wonder Woman with the lassos, hitting some nice lassos, getting some nice ultimates. And a lot of people see 11 kills, Atomic Wonder Woman, wow, she's so good. There's a reason those 11 kills happened. That happens because the rest of the team is doing a good job fulfilling their roles and allowing Atomic Wonder Woman to get those hurts. And we saw a quad kill at the end there too. So
there was a lot of hurts. I think that's what it comes down to. Many hurts there. And I think, you know, what we saw there is both team skill but individual skill from C. I know, I think I've heard that basically currently in solo queue, the 3 highest ranked players are all on Team C. With I'm Going Pro, Play to Win, and Cal, I think only the top 3 spots.
Wow.
And especially impressive how they were able to really control Azure Fire in the mid lane, who often dominates his mid lane. He's the 1v1 4-time defending champion.
Is he playing Green Arrow? Yeah.
But every time, you know, it looked like him and Play to Win were having a great duel.
Atomic Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she'd always come in and tip it towards the favor of Play to Win, and then Play to Win just got so far ahead that, you know, there was no way that he could even compete with them at a certain point.
And if I can be a bit critical, perhaps, I mean, maybe we look at Doomsday from Team SG in that final game. Like, all those times where Atomic Wonder Woman kind of jumped in and helped out a friend, Doomsday theoretically could have been there, you know, helping out on the other side. And that's a pretty interesting point. If we're talking about MOBA as a whole, jungler versus jungler, Doomsday versus Atomic Wonder Woman. If you look at the differences there, Atomic Wonder Woman did a great job of being where she needed to be, helping out her teammates, identifying when the other person was low. Doomsday on the side of things, I felt like his progression was a bit slow throughout. I mean, we saw him at level 4 when he probably should have been a little bit higher, and not necessarily fulfilling his complete role there in that game, I think.
Yeah, typically as a jungler, you want to do one of 2 things. You either want to kind of farm up crazily and just hit level 6 as fast as possible, or you want to be really active in the lanes and contribute. And he was delaying his farming because he kept coming to lanes, but he often would get them just a little bit too late where there wasn't that opportunity anymore. He would get there, you know, 5 seconds after Atomic Wonder went through, and then he'd be like, hey guys, I'm here for a gank, but his teammate would already be dead, right?
Yep, and then he'd get ganked on, perhaps.
And then you just have to run away. And
it's interesting. A lot of that is just this ridiculous mobility of Atomic Wonder Woman. So, you know, that being said, I wonder if Atomic Wonder Woman gets banned in this next game. I think it's probably likely. I might bet money on that, which should open up some other interesting options. But, you know,
hey guys,
how much do you think that
Cardell,
first kill...
Anuvin's son has made a bold prediction for this series, and we want to show it to people.
Getting words in our ear. I don't know. Can the stream hear that? Or?
Yes, they can.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they can. You heard it there. Anuva wants to give a bold prediction.
Okay. I'm ready. Is there a prediction?
I think he's on there.
He said Surreal.
Surreal.
That's Nathaniel, Anuvin's youngest son.
Ah. Surreal.
There we go.
They looked good.
Of course, Anuvan, the creative director here for Infinite Crisis.
Yes.
A man of much wisdom and fortitude and greatness. He thinks Surreal. I mean, looking at that first game, Surreal's going to have a tough road to try to come out on top of this one.
They have to win 2 in a row here.
Yes. And
not unheard of.
Not unheard of, but...
based on that first game. So I wanted to ask, that first blood we saw.
Yes.
How much of an impact do you think overall that had on that game?
I think if anything, it had more of a psychological impact than an actual impact, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where...
It's a bit demotivating in the early game.
And then the problem was it gave that little bit of extra lead, and what's often the top lane is kind of ignored. And people just let the 2 top laners just duke it out, and they kind of ignore the lane. But what C did is they said, no, we're just going to camp the top lane. And Maestro was just fighting 1v2 for pretty much like 70% of the game. And he ended up, you know, way behind Cal with a poor score. But it's hard to tell, you know, fighting 1v2 isn't easy, right? And that top lane was just... He was just camped the whole time. It was not a pretty picture for Maestro.
I guess you got to stay near your turret. He had some cool moments where, you know, he got some nice ultimates underneath the turret and stuff, but it was one of those things where Atomic Wonder Woman was just relentlessly in the area in the game, so he could never really get any momentum. So I'll have to see how this changes in this next game. I mean, I feel like we're going to see an Atomic Wonder Woman ban, which should be interesting to see how these guys pick based on that. But no first bloods. We don't want that happening for Team Surreal. They need to make sure they're really on top of the early game. They need to make sure they don't kind of snowball out of control, because I think it's one of those situations where you know, once it becomes, I think it was at one point very early on in the game, it was like 7 kills to 1 very early.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Like that just snowballs from there, and it's one of those things where you have to just kind of be super safe and hope that your opponent messes up, and you don't really want to be in that position in the early game. So I would really like to see Team Surreal game really focus on not getting out of position, making sure those early team fights are a little bit